What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, legendary, former, heavyweight, undisputed world champion, iconic, superstar boxer, Iron Mike Tyson, did a face-off interview today. Well, or should I say, a friendly conversation he had with undefeated two-division world champion, currently the WBA lightweight world champion, Gervonta Tank Davis. And Mike Tyson had some interesting takes and some interesting advice he gave Gervonta Tank Davis. One that stuck out the most to me immediately, he asked Gervonta Tank Davis what he think about Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko, three-division world champion, currently the unified lightweight world champion. What he think about undefeated WBC lightweight world champion, Devin the Dream Haney, right? What he think about Teofimo Lopez, right? Undefeated IBF lightweight world champion. What do you think about Shakur Stevenson, junior lightweight, or should I say featherweight, WBO world champion, Olympic silver medalist? And he got his take. He asked Gervonta Tank Davis, has he ever sparred any of them? He says, yeah. He said, what do you think about, first said, what do you think about Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson? He said, Shakur Stevenson helped me prepare for my first world championship fight. And then he said, Devin Haney is a good fighter. He said they're both good fighters. He said, I sparred Devin Haney twice. He kind of brushed that one off. And Mike Tyson said, well, you need to fight them. You need to fight them. Y'all need to make a pact. He said, y'all should come up with some sort of pact, to where y'all fight each other. And he says, there's a saying that goes in the sport, friends help friends get paid. When you fight each other, you help me get paid, I help you get paid. And Gervonta Tank Davis said, well, none of them are my friends. He said, well, that's all right. Mike Tyson said, that's all right. You ain't got to be the best of friends to negotiate with one another. Then he went on to say, and don't let your promoters and your managers stand in the way. Do not let them block you from these fights, because these are all big money fights for you. And Gervonta Tank Davis said, hopefully those fights come around. That's when Gervonta Tank Davis said, hopefully those fights come around and they come to fruition, is when Mike Tyson stepped in and said, do not let your managers and your promoters stop you from making these fights. He says, you got to tell them that they work for you. Don't allow them to not make these fights. These are big fights for your legacy, and they're big money fights for your future. And obviously, not too many people understand, or maybe not too many people know, that Floyd Mayweather and Iron Mike Tyson have a rocky history. They started off really good friends. Floyd Mayweather used to hang around Mike Tyson. He fought on Mike Tyson's undercard, I believe. And, they were good friends. Mike Tyson kind of took him under his wing. And then a situation arose at Mike Tyson's house in which Mike Tyson feels like Floyd Mayweather snitched him out about something. And he was not happy about that. He said that's not the move of a man. And ever since then, he's had this underlying disdain for Floyd Mayweather Jr., right? You can even see at the WBC convention when they gave all the legendary former world champions of the WBC belts, and they honored all of them, and there was about 30, 40 of them up on the stage, maybe 50, maybe more than that. And Mike Tyson, when he got announced, he was shaking everybody's hand, and when he got to Floyd Mayweather, the first thing he did was flinch at Floyd Mayweather. He did like that at Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather didn't flinch. That was legendary. Floyd Mayweather didn't flinch at all. But Mike Tyson did one of those at, a split second and try to catch him off guard, and Floyd Mayweather didn't flinch. And then Mike Tyson shook his hand, and, they went about their way. But it's clear that, there's some underlying, borderline disdain there, right? And Mike Tyson is a student of the sport of boxing. He was somebody who was taken advantage of within the sport of boxing. So Iron Mike Tyson wants to drop knowledge and and tell Gervonta Tank Davis, don't allow anybody to, do that to you, right? So he said, don't let your managers, don't let your promoters, stand in the way of your legendary fights. And these fights with these guys are legendary fights. They're iconic fights. Don't let them stand in the way of it, right? So he's, Mike Tyson, like I said, he's been there with Don King. He's been in the sport of boxing, and he's an example in the sport of boxing, right? Mike Tyson is definitely an example. If you could learn anything from anybody, it's good to learn from Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson has been there and done that. You understand? Mike Tyson knows that you got to be very aware within the sport of boxing, or people will take advantage of you. So Mike Tyson, is trying to inform Gervonta Tank Davis, don't let nobody block you from these big fights, because these are big fights, and don't let them stand in the way. Be your own boss. Essentially, is what Mike Tyson is saying. He's saying be your own boss, right? Don't allow your manager, promoter, Floyd Mayweather, to block these fights, not to make allow you to have these legacy fights, and not to allow you to make big money, right? And so with that said, I agree with Mike Tyson, right? As he said, Mike Tyson said to Gervonta Tank Davis as well, he said, you gotta fight Lomachenko. That fight gotta happen. That's what Mike Tyson said. He said, you gotta fight Lomachenko, man. When you gonna fight Lomachenko? That fight gotta happen. And Gervonta Tank Davis was like, yeah, it's gonna happen. He was kind of passive with it. Gervonta Tank Davis, we hear Leonard Ellerbe, Mayweather Promotions CEO, and he's the figurehead of Mayweather Promotions, and he always tell everybody Tank is a star. Tank is a superstar. He's that guy. He's going to be a pay-per-view, extravaganza, right? And so with that said, we always hear that, but these big fights, these mega fights, never come to fruition with Gervonta Tank Davis. Obviously, Mike Tyson asked him, who are you fighting, right? And he said, well, I'm fighting 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer Leo Santa Cruz. And Mike Tyson said, yeah, I heard about that guy. He's been around for a while fighting at the lower weight classes. You see what Mike Tyson said? He said, that guy been around for a while, but he's been fighting at lower weight classes, right? And Tank said, yeah, he's been around longer than I have. And yeah, he was fighting at lower weight classes. And Mike Tyson like, yeah, man, you gotta fight these other guys, man. You gotta fight the Devin Haney's, Teofimo Lopez's, Lomachenko's of the world. Those are your legacy fights, and don't let nobody stand in the way of them. And I agree with Mike Tyson wholeheartedly. Gervonta Tank Davis is still somewhat young. He's 25 going 26 years old, so he's not that young. But he hasn't, this is his first, real legacy fight. Leo Santa Cruz, because Leo Santa Cruz is a Hall of Famer. No doubt about it. Leo Santa Cruz is going to be a Hall of Famer. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's a 4-division world champion. So this is going to be his first legacy fight. At the age of 25 going on 26. Floyd Mayweather at this point in time was accomplished. Floyd Mayweather accomplished a lot by the time he was 25 years old. So I don't understand their method of, how they're directing Gervonta Tank Davis's career. The biggest fight in his career was Yuriorkis Gamboa. Prior to that was Jose Pedraza. Right now, those fights are nothing to sneeze at. But at this point in time, he should have already had some sort of legacy fight. And then Vasyl Lomachenko has been calling him out for quite some time, trying to make that fight. And Floyd Mayweather, Gervonta Tank Davis just recently said that fight may not happen until 2022. It needs to build. Vasyl Lomachenko is already on the wrong side of 30. How much longer are we going to wait? And you, 25 going on 26. Right? The Tevin Farmer fight never came to fruition after they were drawing back and forth. That would have been a good fight for him. Now I'm under the understanding that Tevin Farmer priced himself out, but that would have been a good fight for him. I thought Gervonta Tank Davis clearly would have won the fight. Now you have Devin Haney calling him out, and he calling Devin Haney a clout chaser instead of addressing Devin Haney, calling his bluff. Now he is talking about going ahead and fighting Mexican rising superstar contender lightweight Ryan Garcia after Leo Santa Cruz, but Ryan Garcia is not accomplished. Outside of having a huge social media following, he's not accomplished in the sport of boxing. He's having his first big fight, and it's not a legacy fight against Luke Campbell. And he still don't have a date for that. So we don't even know when that fight was going to come to fruition. So, these fights must come to fruition for Gervonta Tank Davis to be validated as that mega star that Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe tag him to be. And I definitely believe he can. He got all the skill set, all the tools to do so. But he got to get in the ring and prove it. So I'm in agreement with Mike Tyson. And as far as Mike Tyson calling out Floyd Mayweather, I'm not surprised. Like I said, we understand that there's some underlying disdain, maybe more so on the part of Mike Tyson towards Floyd Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather towards Mike Tyson. But they're both legends and Hall of Famers within the sport of boxing. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.